What's up all you beautiful sexy gamers out there? Today I'm going to be bringing you some Mass Effect Andromeda news. Now again, sorry for the lateness, been extremely busy the past month, but I'm trying to catch up on videos right now. So I'm back in action for you guys and I'm going to pump out as many videos as I can for you. Now before I get started with my video, I just want to let you guys know I've gotten all my information off of Game Informer. I will leave a link down in the description below. So if you want to check out the whole article, I highly recommend you do it. I'm just going to talk about some of the major stuff that caught my eye. Now the first and most important thing that people need to know, this is not the start of a new trilogy. They have already stated that it's not. They'll probably have games in the Andromeda galaxy, but this isn't a start of a new trilogy like the original Mass Effect games. Now the game is actually supposed to be based 600 years after the events of the second Mass Effect game. Now according to this Mass Effect timeline here that I'm showing you, the arcs took off after the events of the second one and before the events of the third one. So none of the people on the arcs really know about the Reaper invasion. So it's going to be kind of cool to talk to these people to see why they're reasoning for being on the arcs to begin with, because if it was the Reaper invasion, everyone would just be like, let's get the fuck off this planet. And we know how great storytelling BioWare is, so they'll probably have really good background stories for everyone on the arcs, and I just can't wait to actually talk to them. Okay, now we know the names of the writers. Now we're not calling them Bro Rider or Sister Rider or Daddy Rider anymore. They gave us the names for it, and it's Scott and Sarah Rider as the default names. Of course, you can change them, whichever one you pick and stuff. And then the Daddy Rider is Alec Rider, which I actually really would love to sit down and talk to Alec Rider, because when you look it up, he was one of the people that discovered the mass relays. So it would be awesome if BioWare did that and let you sit down and have a conversation with him before maybe they kill him off or something, and just collect a bunch of this Mass Effect lore and stuff. I would really love to sit down and talk with him. Now I have read that they brought loyalty missions back, which I'm really excited about. I always had so much fun doing the loyalty missions and just having my teammates just loyal and making sure not to kill them off. But some of those loyalty missions were pretty crazy, like Jax, like blowing up where she used to get tortured when she was a kid, and you know, letting Garrus like just blow that guy's brains out and stuff in the second Mass Effect games. Like, those loyalty missions were pretty fun and they were pretty crazy, and I hope they have some really good loyalty missions. Now another thing I read about is they're going to have more banters, which I'm really happy about. I enjoy the crap out of the banters in Dragon Age Inquisition, so I'd really would love to like hear more of them. I know they did have a little bit more in the third Mass Effect game, but I would love just to be like exploring around and hear PB and one of the other characters is bullshitting behind me and stuff. And those banters are really funny a lot of times. If you've never played Dragon Age, definitely, like, they have some of the most funniest banters I've ever heard, and I enjoy the crap out of that. Now, a major thing we already pretty much know is there's not going to be any returning characters, which is understandable because this thing was kind of a side project from the original trilogy, and it's several hundred years into a different galaxy. But me personally, for me, I would love to hear some name dropping. Like, you don't have to actually bring out Liara or anything, but maybe just drop her name or something. That would be really cool, especially for us people that just absolutely adore the trilogy. It would be really awesome to hear some the characters' names from the original trilogy, but I figured they were probably not going to do it. Now, we already have heard that whatever writer you pick, male or female, the other one is still going to be out in the world somewhere. I mean, unfortunately they can't join your team. That'd be kind of cool. But I also read that however you design your character, it's going to link with your twin and Alec Ryder too. So that's pretty cool. Like, if you have, like, you know, a Hispanic looking character, your brother or your sister and your dad will look Hispanic and stuff, which I think is really cool. I always spend like hours on the character like creation, because I just want to actually make my character look more like me and play the character how I would perceive myself as if I'm in that situation. Now, they took out the Paragon and Renegade options, which is kind of weird to me because that's the whole aspect of Mass Effect. But it does make sense because because in like Mass Effect 2, say you didn't have enough Paragon and Jack and Miranda are at it and stuff, and you end up, and it's grayed out for either Renegade or Paragon to keep the loyalty for both of them, and you end up losing loyalty for someone, you know, and then they end up either dying in the suicide mission or they die in the third game because they didn't have the loyalty. I think it's cool that they got rid of that. To me, it sounds, what I read about, it sounds more like leaning towards how Dragon Age Inquisition was. Like, they just have different options to pick and stuff that's not actually a Renegade, or it's not like narrow to Renegade or Paragon. It's more like the emotion of what's going on. And it feels more like Dragon Age Inquisition on that aspect. And I'm wondering if it's going to be like that, if choices you make, you can end up losing companion points and stuff like you did with Dragon Age Inquisition, or even with Star Wars, the Old Republic, the MMO. Like, if you choose something that they didn't like, you'll lose companion points for. And I'm wondering if they're going to start going that way with Mass Effect as well. Which I wouldn't mind at all, because it keeps it more open than linear. And it just makes the choices even matter even more. So I'm all for that. Now, about the classes, you have 7 classes. Now, what I read, it doesn't seem like they had a lot of the old classes like they did with Mass Effect. Because me personally, I was a Sentinel player. I freaking loved having the biotics and the tech. But what I was reading, you do have 7 classes, but once you unlock the Explorer, you could start putting points in different trees, so it doesn't really matter what class you pick, you could be all over the place. Which, I'm not even quite sure about that, because there's reasonings for having your party together. Because, you know, say you play a Vanguard, but you need bionic powers and tech powers, like in the original trilogy. It's like, well, you bring in Rex or Liara, and you bring in Legion or Tali, you know, they help you out with all that stuff. You know, even in Dragon Age Inquisition, you needed like Varric or Sarah to open up stuff, you know. I'm kind of iffy about that, because then I'm like, well, there's a reasoning for the party. Why are you gonna make it so, like, you know, you have it all over the place? But that's just my opinion on that. I mean, I won't know how that plays out really well until I actually get to play the game. But for me, I'm like, about that. Now, the combat, what I was reading, it's leaning more towards how the combat was in Mass Effect 3, which I'm like, thank goodness, because I know Mass Effect 1 was an old game. I think it's like 10 years old now, but the mechanics in it sucked. It was a fucking awesome game, but the mechanics sucked. Second one, the mechanics got better, and the third one, they were really good. I heard they tweaked up some stuff, so like the cover system isn't as choppy or as bad as it was in the third one, when like sometimes you would just be running and automatically go into cover or something, and you're like, I'm not trying to go into cover, or you jump over the thing when you're in cover and you're like, fuck, and you're getting wrecked. But like, what it seems like they tweaked it up a little bit, but it's gonna be more like the third game, which I'm excited for. I like that. And also I read that the PvP aspect part doesn't matter to the main story. Now if you played the third one before they had the extended cut DLC for the better ending, for an actual closed ending, then you actually had to play PvP to even get the quote-unquote good ending. So I'm glad they completely took that out, and so you could just play the PvP for fun. Now it's supposed to have a huge open world, which makes sense because you're going to explore a ton of new planets. Now, what I've read, it's actually supposed to be one of the biggest open world games that BioWare has, which is surprising to me because I thought Dragon Age Inquisition was fucking huge, but this one's supposed to be even bigger, and I really can't wait to explore all these new planets. Now there is going to be a new enemy. It's called the Get. Now they look kind of pretty weird, and I'm really curious to find out the background information about the Get. Now that's my video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. That's pretty much what we know so far. I know that BioWare is going to be releasing more and more information as spring starts getting closer and closer. So I'll try to keep you guys updated as best as I can. Of course, there's many different other channels out there that can keep you updated and give you theories about what's going on. Again, all my information I got was from Game Informer. I will have a link down in the description below. And I really hope you guys enjoy this video. My next video I'm going to try to get out for you guys as soon as possible is my Dishonored 2 review. I've already done the Emily playthrough now on low chaos. Now I'm doing Corvo on high chaos. Just want to get the full feel of the game before actually giving a complete review for you guys. Hopefully I'll have that this weekend, and then after that I should try to get back on it. I should be able to get back on a regular schedule. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this video and have a beautiful, wonderful day. Thank you for watching.